All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hack3 2020's virtual opening ceremony.
We hope that you,
All right, we are
we hope
live.
that you all have been
Hello,
staying
everyone.
safe and
Welcome to
healthy during
Hack3
this pandemic,
2020's
and that
virtual
you're
opening
excited to
ceremony.
participate in Hack 3. We hope that you,
Before we start the
we
event,
hope
we
that you
first
all
want
have
to
been staying
introduce
safe
all of
and
our
healthy during this
organizers on the
pandemic, and
Hack3
that you're
team that have
excited to
helped
participate
make
in Hack
this
3.
event possible.
To start, my name is Vid.
Hey, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
Hi there, I'm Amanda.
Hello guys, my name is Abhisar.
Hello everyone, my name is Srinivas.
Hey there, I'm Christopher.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Owen.
Hello, my name is Rama.
Hi, I'm George.
Hey everyone, I'm Ethan.
Together, we formed the organizing team of Hack3.
Hey, Vid, what's your favorite part about a hackathon?
There are a lot of good parts, but my favorite has to be seeing all the cool projects that people can create.
That's definitely true. Drop your favorite part of a hackathon in the chat below, or something that you are looking forward to if this is your first ever hackathon.
Anyways, let's get back to the opening presentation. Be sure to pay attention as there will be an opportunity to win prizes later.
So to start, let's explain what a hackathon is. A hackathon is where teams try to hack together solutions that can solve real-world problems. You can create a website, a desktop application, a mobile application, anything. There are no limitations to what you can use, but it should use technology in some way and solve a problem from our tracks this year. It's extremely broad. Finally, these projects are submitted and the best projects win prizes. Win these cool prizes. During these next 24 hours, we will host workshops for you to learn new skills and provide mentors to help you whenever you need help.
Now that you have an idea of what a hackathon is, let's talk about Hack3 specifically. We're a global group of high school students dedicated to hosting the best hackathon for our fellow high schoolers. Hack3 is a nonprofit organization, and this is our second online hackathon. Things may still go wrong, but just know that we're doing our best to ensure the best experience for all our participants.
Sounds cool. Is Hack3 like a competition where you need to make the most efficient algorithms?
Not quite. In a hackathon, it's not about the complexity of the project. Rather, it's about how creative your end solution is to solve the problem. Since you only have a 24-hour time frame to create your projects, teams should focus on creating basic proof of concept for your idea and don't expect your project to be perfect.
Right now, we are at our opening ceremony. After this, if you don't have a team already, we hope that you can make a team, or you can just decide to compete alone. You can code a project that you think will help the world in some way, and then you can submit it for judging. During this entire period, we will have workshops and mentorships available to you. And if you don't want to compete, but only want to go to workshops to learn new things and go to mentorships, that's completely fine by us as well.
Here are two of our projects as an example from last year for your reference. Homegrown was a website that helped small and local businesses during the pandemic by connecting them with other small businesses and broadcasting to potential customers. On the other hand, Mask Pi was a project that involved both software and hardware by utilizing computer vision to detect people wearing face masks. Pretty cool.
Ah, I see. So you mentioned teams. How do those work? What if a participant had a group of 10 friends? Could they all participate in the hackathon?
Teams have a maximum of 4 people, so all 10 friends can participate, but not on the same team.
Okay. What if someone wanted to participate without a team?
Of course, you can work by yourself, but we at Hack3 strongly recommend that you form a team. This not only will make you create a better project, but will also allow you to learn different things that you can use later on in your careers. Learning how to collaborate and work with a team is one of the key components to any job in today's era, and we all can agree on that. Plus, you might find some of the people you form teams with are great friends with you and share a lot of the same interests.
For building teams, we have a Slack channel dedicated for team formation. If you don't have one, post your skill sets there and message someone to work with. This picture from last year is shown for your reference, but note that you can always find the format for how to post your skill sets in the pinned message on the team formation channel.
I think that covers all of the basics of what a hackathon consists of. Be sure to drop your questions in the chat if you have any.
Hack3 has a wide variety of participants, including beginners. How do we make sure that they feel as comfortable as everyone else participating?
Great question. Hack3 is an all-inclusive hackathon for people of all skill levels, so beginners may feel intimidated by the concept of a hackathon. If you are a beginner, you should first make sure that you are registered on DevPost. Otherwise, you will not be able to participate. Next, make sure you find a team that you feel comfortable with through our team finding opportunities or through your own connections. Finally, you can start hacking.
For beginners, we provide a huge variety of resources to help you. During the entire event, we'll have almost 10 different workshops that you can go to learn computer science. Our first workshop at 1 p.m. Eastern Time is actually Intro to Computer Science with our very own Owen Wang. Here you can learn all about computer science and get started using Python. If you don't know coding, this is the perfect way for you to get started. And even if you do, maybe you should drop in to refresh on some skills. Further, we have mentorships and organizers that will be available worldwide during the entire event that can provide guidance for you. We're always here to help if you ever need anything. And tomorrow, we will send out some slide templates that you can use for your judging groups. And finally, we provide exclusive credits that you can use for free.
Okay, I hope you've all been paying attention so far, because right now we're going to put in a small trivia question on the content covered so far. So enter your answer at link.hack3.co/trivia1 to win a $20 Starbucks gift card. All right, let's get into the question. So, which of the following are resources for beginners? A, workshops, B, mentorships, C, freebies and credits, D, templates and resources, E, some of the above, or F, all of the above. You can enter your answer at link.hack3.co/trivia1.
All right, we will give a 2-minute break for you guys to submit. We will announce the winners at the very end of the opening ceremony. All right, so just to clarify, go on to the link to fill in the form. So we provide a lot of mentorships through Slack. You can check out the mentorships channel. We provide freebies and credits, as you know, and templates and resources. So, given all this information, the answer is F, all of the above. So at the very end of the opening ceremony, we will go through who won.
Thanks, Jonathan. I'm really glad that Hack3 has a lot of opportunities for beginners. I remember in my first hackathon, I was really lost and I didn't really know what to do. I'm glad Hack3 is making sure that everyone has an equal chance to succeed.
Definitely. We have room for all types of coders here at Hack3. Did you guys know that over 300 hackers from 20 countries have signed up? Isn't that amazing?
That's pretty awesome. It's a testament to how well our outreach team has spread the word this year. Kudos to them.
But hey, I want to see some action. Put the country that you are participating from in the chat, especially if this is your first hackathon. We can't wait to see the true diversity here we have at Hack3.
Now, let's talk about what the hackathon in specific holds for you. If you haven't done so already, there are 2 things you need to do in order to participate in Hack3 this year.
So number one, you need to register at our DevPost link. DevPost is our judging website, so you will need to make sure that you have an account there in order to participate in Hack3 this year. Number two is to click on the Slack link after joining the DevPost and join our Slack. This is our community chat where we will be making announcements such as links to our workshops and updating you guys throughout the entire hackathon. If you are registered but forgot to follow these 2 steps, send us an email at team@hack3.co and we will help you out. After you have completed both of these steps, you are ready to begin hacking.
In our Slack, we have a channel for announcements, forming teams, workshops, asking questions just for organizers, like requests that don't have to be public, such as banning a user, and so much more.
One note though, if you are about to post something, make sure you follow the format pinned in the Slack channel to avoid any confusion.
As you're coding along, and imagine you run into something that you have no idea how to fix, and even Google doesn't help. This is where you can utilize our mentorships channel. You can post a request in the mentorship Slack channel, and an online mentor can help you out.
We hope that you will be able to arrange a quick video chat to solve the issue or to simply answer your question. Even though we have them for your benefit, not all mentors know the particular framework that you are using. So having a mentorship depends on both the mentor's availability and expertise. Remember, please don't take mentorships for granted. They're using valuable parts of their weekend to help you. This picture shows a request for mentorship from last year. Participant needed help with displaying a Python file through HTML, so they requested help in the mentorships channel with the following format. Then, different mentors came to their assistance. If you ever need help while making your project, then send a message similar to this one in the mentorships channel.
Next, we want to let you know about workshops. We've arranged quite a few, and we are thrilled that industry professionals will teach some of our workshops. You can see these on our website, and links will be posted in the workshop channel on Slack. These workshops aim to teach you guys fundamental CS skills like AI, cloud, APIs, and Git. We recommend everyone attend these workshops because you may learn something new or refresh your memory of an existing topic.
Let's go over what your weekend will look like. Today, you will start hacking as soon as the ceremony is over. Then, from 2 to 9, we will have a wide variety of workshops where you can attend.
One workshop that really stands out to me is the Intro to Git workshop. It's a really important tool that a lot of computer scientists nowadays use frequently.
Yeah, I really like the workshops taught by Amazon, Slingshot, and Postman industry professionals. I think it's a great opportunity for our participants to learn from actual people in the industry.
I also think that all of the workshops are fantastic and they teach you a variety of skills, so you should definitely try attending as many as possible. And let's get back to the schedule.
So as for tomorrow, we have 2 more workshops that end at 11 a.m. Then we will have a final Q&A session before you guys go to submit your projects, which will be at 12 p.m. We will be checking your projects for plagiarism from 12 to 1, and then after that, live judging will commence from 1 to 3. After we have judged all the projects and determined the winners, we will have a closing ceremony similar to this one at 5 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, where we will announce all the winners of Hack3.
All right. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about judging. And if you've been at a traditional online hackathon, you'll notice that our judging is slightly different. So first option, which is the one that we really encourage, is live judging. Ideally, you will be here with all of your friends and participate in live judging, where basically you talk live in front of our judges. We have around 16 to 18 very highly esteemed judges. These are software engineers from the top companies like Amazon, Huawei, etc. So we highly recommend live judging. I'll go into that in a bit more detail later on. We also have hybrid judging, which is where in case you have a team that is cross-border, meaning that you guys have people from different countries, basically you can have one person go into a live judging group, share a video that you guys have created together, and this one person can answer questions. So in case you have one person who cannot attend the live judging, you guys should definitely consider doing hybrid judging. And finally, option number 3 is dev post only judging. So this is where you only submit a single dev post project. What this means is that you will not be able to answer judges' questions, so we highly discourage this. But I'll get more in these 3 different options in a minute. So let's talk about DevPost for a little bit. If you're new to Hack3, we use DevPost, which is a hackathon project submission website. This will be your portal to submit projects, so be sure to join. Every single project needs a DevPost submission. Similarly, every single project needs to submit a Google form. We will send out a link to a Google form tomorrow morning. But basically, once you've submitted your project on DevPost, you need to submit a Google form to attach some liability waivers, insert your names, insert your addresses, because we will also be mailing out some prizes to everyone. And if you are in the United States, there is a very good chance that we will mail out a t-shirt and other swag to you guys. So this is why we have our own Google form as well. We're not only using DevPost. So when you submit, keep in mind, you need to submit a DevPost project and a Google form. All right, let's move on. So I'll elaborate a bit more on live presentations. At 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, we will send out the meeting link and time assignment. So keep in mind, hacking begins at 12 p.m. today, at noon today. At tomorrow at noon, you must submit your project. This gives us 1 hour on Sunday to position these meeting links and time assignments. In total, we estimate that this entire process will take around 2 hours. So from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time is basically when judging happens. Now, if you have a conflict, you can private message me in Slack and make a time slot request where you can request a time anytime from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Even though judging might go on to 3 p.m., we cannot accept time slot requests after 2:30 p.m. You have 5 minutes in a live judging group with these judges. Take no more than 3 minutes to give a pitch. So what is a pitch? Basically, spend 1 minute talking about your project and another minute demonstrating your project. Then leave around 1 minute as a buffer zone in case you face any technical difficulties when you join, or you go a little bit over your 2-minute target time. You will also have 2 minutes as a question and answer session with your judges. So basically, judges will ask questions and you can answer them. This is why we recommend live presentations, because you can answer questions that a judge might have. So if they think that your project might not be beneficial in this world, you can help clarify that to them. So this is why live judging is so great. Next, I'll talk a little bit about hybrid presentations. This is slightly discouraged because you do not have all of your group members. So if you have 4 group members, one of them works on a website and some people else work on the back end, what this means is that if a judge asks a question on the website and the person who created the website isn't there, then that means that you will not have an answer. So we highly discourage this. We want to make sure that all participants are there for the actual presentation. So if you can attend live judging, we recommend that. But again, if you have a cross-border team where judging from 1 p.m. Eastern Time to 3 p.m. Eastern Time is pretty much like midnight, what that means is that maybe one person has to go to sleep or something like that. So in a hybrid presentation, it is basically the same format as a live presentation. And again, only do this if half or more of your team is unavailable. But you can share your screen to play a video presentation that you have already pre-recorded and then answer questions live. For live judging, we also recommend having a video recording anyways, so then judges can reference that later on if they still have anything that they want to look at. Next, we'll go through DevHost only. DevHost only is where you do not go into a live meeting link and talk to judges, but you only submit the project through DevHost. You must have a video recording, but you have no opportunity to answer any of the judges' questions, so we heavily discourage this. In fact, you are advantaged if you do live presentations over DevPost only. And only do this if not at least one person is available. If in your entire team, one person is available from 1 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow to 3 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, do hybrid judging.
Finally, let's review some ground rules. Obviously, absolutely no cheating is permitted in any way during Hack3. If we find that any of the projects did not follow the rules, your project will be disqualified from winning a prize.
Social conduct applies here as it should everywhere, so give us, your teammates, and other participants good behavior. Essentially, don't be a bad person.
We at Hack3 only allow high scores, as we've explicitly stated in our rules. You must be either enrolled in high school in the 2021 to 2022 school year or have graduated this year to compete. We want a level playing field here, so there are no exceptions to this rule.
If your behavior comes into question at Hack3, it is at our discretion to take the necessary action to keep things running smoothly. Hack3 is a friendly and fair competition for all participants, so try not to get too competitive and flaunt your skills. We may sound like a broken record here, but we highly emphasize the following rules so that the competition is fun and fair for all participants.
To expand more on cheating, we take cheating on projects very seriously here at Hack3. Cheating can be a variety of things. For instance, you can copy entire projects from external sources, which I mean by not your team, and using projects made in the past, and external members coding your project. We have certain precautions on your projects to filter these projects out. So make sure you refrain from cheating at all times.
If you feel like another team is breaking the rules, send us a complaint at link.hack3.co/cheating, and we will review your application as soon as possible.
So for our first place prize, we have a DJ Trello drone for each team member, a $500 KT by education credit, and an internship interview by Slingshot. And I want to elaborate more on that. So our entire organizing team has done an amazing job coordinating prizes. Together with our sponsors, you can compete for a total of 11 prizes. Most of these are cool freebies and tools from our sponsors. Although we also have some cash grants for you to push your project to the next level, the total value of these prizes exceeds over $30,000.
All right, so for our second place prize, they will be getting a Raspberry Pi kit and a $250 K-Byte education credit. They will also have a chance at an internship interview by Slingshot.
For a third place prize, we have an Arduino kit, $500 in KT by education credits, and also an interview and opportunity with Slingshot.
So there are even more prizes. So our 3 track winners will also be getting an Arduino. Our best beginner project will be getting up to a $100 donation of one of our Hack3 Accesses funds to a charity of your choice. Any honorable mentions will be getting a Wolfram Alpha credit, and then the Echo AR prize will be getting a $50 Amazon gift card.
Here is our final trivia question. The guidelines are the same as last time, so make sure to enter your answers at the link posted. It should show up soon. It's link.hack3.co/trivia2. And you'd win another prize. So the question is, your team is submitting a project and you are selecting live judging. Which of the following is true? And so option A, you have up to 3 minutes to present. Option B, you have 5 minutes before you will be removed. Option C, judges will ask questions for up to 2 minutes. Option D, you must arrive 10 minutes before your allocated time. Option E, some of the above. And option F, all of the above. Make sure to answer again at link.hack3.co/trivia2.
As you guys are filling out your answer to the trivia question, I just want to make a quick comment. So one more note, no team may win twice, so a total of 11 unique teams will win. We will be distributing t-shirts and swag to participants in the USA, and shipping costs are reasonable and as determined by us. So good luck.
Yep. So I'm looking at some of the questions in Slack or in the chat. We will go through most of these at the end, but there's one that's about cross submissions. So we say no cross submissions, and the reasoning for this is that each hackathon has slightly different rules, and we just want to be safe. So a hackathon, a project made at Hack3 can only be submitted to Hack3. And now I will go through the answer to trivia. So keep in mind, if you have won, we will private message you later on. Prize distribution will happen after the event, so expect your prizes to arrive at around July to August, but no later than August. So here is the answer to the final trivia question. The answer was some of the above. So let's take a look. First option is you only have 3 minutes to present. So the answer is actually E, not F. You only have 3 minutes to present, and this is true. Out of your 5 minutes, we want 3 for presenting and then 2 for questions. So A is true. For B, you have 5 minutes before you will be removed. This is true as well. And C is also true. However, D says that you must arrive at least 10 minutes before your allocated time. And this is not true. We want you to arrive 2 to 3 minutes before because you want to show up slightly early so that you are ready, but arrive no more than 10 minutes before your allotted time. So the answer is E, some of the above. We'll go through the answers and select someone who was the first. All right, as our keynote speaker, I would like to invite Suresh Sankar. He is a cloud technical account manager at Amazon Web Services. He was a former principal cloud solution architect at Microsoft. He has a strong passion for computing and other IT-related works, and he has been in the industry for over a decade. I'd like to welcome him and have him take over and give a presentation.
Hey guys, can you guys hear me and see me clearly? Okay. All right. Hope that's the same. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to try this. Hopefully it works the first time. Oh. Okay. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Yes. All right. What do you see in the? You see a slide, or do you see the slideshow? Okay. All right. Let me try this. It's the same or different? Sorry. Try this. You still see the same?
Yep.
Let me
Oh.
see.
I think it's good enough. I think you can just present this.
You can try presenting and then do the switch view.
Yeah, it's trying that stuff. Yeah, entire screen. Okay, I think this should work. Let's see. Yeah, can you? What do you see now?
Yep, that's good now.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Anyway, thanks for the opportunity to the organizers of Hack3. So I hope everyone is enjoying the opening ceremony. So the topic today I wanted to talk about is one of the, which ties to the mission of Hack3, that anyone can code, right? We want to have equity in Hack3 participations and knowledge. So the talk is about anyone can code and why it matters to make the world better. So something about me, I'm from Massachusetts area. I've been living in this country for 20 plus years. My passions are watching NBA. I also play tennis for fun. I studied in India. I got a bachelor's in engineering. I have a degree from Harvard at organizational behavior. The last few years I've worked in high tech, starting with Dell EMC in 2011. Then that led me to a cloud-related opportunity in Microsoft. And now I work with customers to mature their cloud operations with AWS. So what are we going to talk today, right? I'm going to talk about some of the what we call the myths and facts about like getting into the software, what is coding, and when some of the myths you might have when you're getting into this area, and what has been my journey, my personal journey I want to share with you. I hope that helps you. And talk about how coding/programming is related to problem solving. I also want to give some introduction about human engineering, which is basically the soft skills. And I want to share my thoughts about future of where the software industry is going and how on connecting the dots, how it matters to the hackathon you are participating. And if we have time, I'm going to talk about career paths. I'm sure there'll be some juniors and seniors and maybe some college-bound folks, but if we have time, a big caveat, we'll talk about that, right? And if you have any questions, please post it in the live stream. Jonathan, if one of you can ask the question on behalf of the participant, that's great. I can answer all the questions at the end of the session. So just post it in the YouTube live stream, and then we can answer any questions you might have. So let's start with what is programming, right? So in simple terms, it's a set of instructions given to your computer, right? The computers obviously cannot understand English. We try to give it in a format that adheres to a specific style and format. So this is a sample from processing, which is again a name of a language, which I recently had an opportunity to learn, I would say. But if you really see it saying, oh, void setup, what does it mean? I'm going to draw something. I'm going to initialize, just like if you start, I don't know, if you start building something, you set some basic things. If you're doing a small project, you defining some size of the window, how thick the line is with the stroke, what background it is. And then you want to say this, hey, draw something. I'm going to draw a line, and that's what it is. So in simple terms, if you want to ask the computer to do anything that is boring or it's repetitive, you have to give some instructions. That's pretty much what coding is. There's nothing beyond that, in my opinion. You just need to know the rules of the road. Like if you're driving, you have to follow the rules. If you are developing a program, you just need to follow to the syntax. So what are the myths and facts in terms of what it is getting into software, right? So what I've heard from teenagers and high schoolers that inhibits or intimidates getting into this field or this area. I'm not good at coding at high school. I can't get into a tech, right? That is one of the things. I need to be a nerd to be into this thing. I need to be awesome in programming and coding to be in tech. I'm not good in math. I can't get into tech. Coding is boring. I'm sure you heard this or felt like this. All of these things is my opinion. It's not true. So I think what is really required is a conceptual understanding of how things work, how computers work. That is very important. If you have good analytical skills, if you have great teamwork, ability to work with others, you're able to communicate clearly, and we have good soft skills. We'll talk about that in the upcoming slides. And hard work and effort, right? And also good problem-solving things. If you have a problem, how do you go about it? How do you solve that? So these are the things that is more important than saying I need to be the best of the best. None of the things in the left-hand side is true. At least it doesn't matter when you come to work. So what is the path to success? I believe the path to success is resilience, right? Like you may fail even today in this programming journey or the workshops, you may or may not win the competition, but how resilient are you? How, if you fall, can you get up? How gritty are you? Grit is something, it's kind of now looked at as a very good indicator of success. We'll talk about that. So people living in the United States may or may not know about this. So there is something called United States Military Academy at West Point. It is difficult to get than Harvard. I repeat, it's difficult to get into Ivy League. You'll be wondering why. You can look it up, why West Point is difficult. So West Point is obviously it's a military academy. They probably take 1,100 cadets every year. They have a 7-week of first week of training before you get into that. There is academics and military training. The first 7 week of training is called hell. Most make it, but many people don't. You have to wonder why they would not make it, because they work so hard academically and extracurriculars and made it to a school which is better than, it's difficult than Harvard or any of the Ivy League schools. And why would they not? And these people who really make it through are the people with grit. So I believe irrespective of whether you chose software, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a researcher, your resilience and grittiness or grit is going to determine whether you succeed or not. In some ways, not your talent. So what has been my journey, right? If you see like just this iceberg, oh, this guy is in AWS, he probably accomplished everything. And it was an easy path to here. It's absolutely not true. I have failures. I had disappointment. I had to put a lot of hard work. I was dedicated to doing what I want. And I also was persistent. And I have to make a lot of personal sacrifices to be where I am. I think this applies to any successful people because we just see the success at the top. But let me share my story. I had struggles right from getting from high school. GCT is the college which I graduated in Bachelor's of Engineering. I had struggled getting into a campus job. In fact, I was selected the last man out in the class of 300 people. I didn't get in the first round, or many people got a job. I was fortunate to get a job, but I was the last one to get one. I had challenges in my earlier career in life. I had to come to a new country. I never had. I will say that all my work career was successful. I had a lot of challenges. Just to be very fair, I know I'm using a mouse now. Right after graduated, I didn't know how to use a mouse after securing a job. So basically, I went into the job and then I didn't know how to use the mouse. In my college, because we had very poor infrastructure, and none of us used a computer as much as we want to, and there was there was only keyboards at the time. I will say even I'm not an A grade in programming, and you have to think I'm in AWS. If I can make it, you can too. So what happens when you get out of college, or when, like, let's say, get out of high school, right? There is a lot of expectations. You do well in college, it's like a straight line. You will get into a job, you make a lot of money, you may build a dream house, you get married, you have kids. That's not what happens in reality. So just like this tree, we expect the trees to grow straight, but it doesn't. Based on many things. It could be storms, that could be water issues. The tree eventually grows and flowers, but it takes its own different path. So just like that, in reality, you start somewhere, you work really, really hard, you're insecure, you fail a lot, you get a lot of sorts of help, and then you become successful. If someone is telling that you'll go to a straight line, they're lying to you. That doesn't happen to anyone in this world. So let's talk about how software and how it's related to problem solving. So this quote is from Jamie Cassap, he's a lead people officer at Google. He says that don't ask kids what they want to be when they grow up, because it's very hard. As you can see in the background of this quote, there's a lot of tracks, there's various paths to get in. But really look and ask yourself today, what problems do you want to solve? I think the world has a lot of problems. It's problem solving. If you put problem solving in the front and center, you will be successful in a career. It doesn't matter you study, you do computer science, you do chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, you do biology, you become a marketing professional, you do business, doesn't matter. If you figure out what problem you want to solve or like to solve or is interest you, you'll be successful no matter which school you go to, no matter what grades you have. That is the key, right? And why is that? So you can use coding as a tool to solve problems, because there are other ways to solve problems, but today I'm going to talk about how coding can be used. So Uber, Airbnb, Netflix, these things had one thing in common, right? Someone thought there is better way to travel, better way to rent, better way to watch movies, basically rent movies, right? And they all used a software program or a website to solve that problem, right? Someone thought, like, if you all know, if you look at traditional taxi industry, you have to spend a lot of money and time, like especially money to maintain the taxi, because you have to repair them, put gas, you have to pay the driver and all those stuff. It's very expensive. Making money in a taxi business is very hard, unless you are in New York City or big cities. It's very, very expensive to maintain a fleet. Someone thought, how can I maintain an automobile fleet or a fleet of taxis without paying for them? Meaning that somebody brings their own car, their own insurance, writes people, and give me a commission. So Uber is the world's largest taxi fleet. And someone thought, how do I operate a world's largest hotel chain without any property? Airbnb, same thing. You rent your home, and they thought that instead of holding all these hotels, building them, paying for the maintenance staff, cleaning, paying for insurance, there's a cheaper way to do that, right? That's what Airbnb is found. And someone thought, well, how to deliver movies without me as a customer going to a rental store? They basically, I don't know how, you may or may not know, there was a store called Blockbuster. Some of you are too young to remember. That's where we all used to go and rent DVDs. And that's the way we were used to do it, rent it and return it back to them. But Netflix changed that. It's all, someone thought about these problems that existed for making money or making things easier for people. and software was used to solve it, right? Going back to the theme of the talk is the world has a lot of problems waiting to be solved. Not just these are, I would say, commercial money-making things. Based on where you live in the US or even in around the world, there is challenges to vaccinate people. That's a problem. Can a high school kid can solve it? Of course you can, right? And you can use coding and the software as a tool, right? How to influence people get vaccinated. For example, where I live, there is 60% of people are vaccinated. In other parts of the world and also within the US, not a lot of people want to vaccinate. Maybe can you create a website to give the facts and influence people? There is a problem, and probably you can use software as a tool. So the world is full of problems, and there is a way to solve it. Hopefully, you do it today, or maybe you took it's raise a journey to that state. So what is the real world examples? So some of the participants who won the prize last year actually joined forces are the organizers this year. So they won a third place where they implemented a mask detector, which can help people coming to a place of worship, whether they're wearing a mask or not. They used a deep learning model and to classify people, whether people are wearing masks, so that in the peak of the pandemic, people can come to a place of worship, but also make sure everyone is safe. So, what is human engineering? This is the most important thing that will determine how far you go of any career, irrespective of software or any other field you choose. So it is all about assertiveness, communication, and team spirit and creativity that is not taught in any of your high schools. So this is me with Angela Duckworth. She's the author of the book Grit. So Grit is all about passion and perseverance. So her opinion is talent is you think about I'm not good in math, I'm not good in those things are talents, right? That is not a guarantor of success. Your passion and perseverance is the most important thing. And also Pete Carroll, some of you follow NFL, who's a Seahawks coach, he says when he picks players, he looks for grit or the mindset that's more important than the talent. I think more and more when we hire people in Amazon and other big competitive places, we'll look for this, not just your technical skills. I mean, we need it, but this is an important indicator whether you're successful or not. This is a famous quote from Netflix CEO. He says, "We don't tolerate brilliant jerks. The cost to teamwork is very high." Um, if you forget everything from this presentation, that's fine. But if you can remember this, 85% of your financial success is due to human engineering, meaning that your personality, your communication, and negotiate, and only 15% is due to technical knowledge. That doesn't mean that you need to have zero technical knowledge, then you can't survive anywhere. But it just gives emphasis on soft skills, and it is a research based on Carnegie's Institute of Technology. I think you probably know, your parents have told this, your altitude by attitude, right? Your attitude will determine where you go, not just your aptitude, which is your talent or your skills. And on the right-hand side, we talk about what are soft skills and hard skills are. Hard skills is something you learn from school and your knowledge. And soft skills is something that is not be measured, but is more problem solving, communication, creativity, and willingness to be curious about stuff, right? So this is a quote from Dharmesh Shah. He's a founder of a software company called HubSpot. HubSpot makes products for marketing folks. It's one of the leading software providers. If you read it, he says they don't hire mean-spirited folks, regardless how skillful they are, because companies may think that I want to retain them. They don't. So make sure whatever you do in your life, show kindness and compassion from now on, so that it shows at work when you really go to a job. So let's talk about future. So this is what I found. I mean, this is my personal opinion. So you can take it, and I think this is what working in the industry for 24 years taught me. When you're in high school or in college, I would recommend no early specialization. Meaning that if you say I'm an ML expert or AI expert at high school or college, I have a problem with that. The reason is it's not that bad or wrong, but having the fundamentals and building on to an area you like is the most important thing. Because when you go to a project, it'll always not be an AI and ML problem, because getting fundamentals of whatever it is the most important thing. For example, cloud was not even existent in 10, 15 years ago. How did I land up in cloud? Because I knew my fundamentals. So that is the key. There are other fields within the tech space that requires less coding, like security and infrastructure, where you rely on technical concepts and creativity of solving problems. So you don't always, all jobs in tech are not just sitting behind a computer. Choosing the career path that suits you. For example, one of your friends does AI/ML, or because that seems to be the buzzword. I'm sorry, I'm picking on AI/ML today, but that doesn't mean that that suits you. And do not choose a career because someone you know is doing it, or just because, oh, AI/ML is paying well, I'm going to choose it. You don't need to do it, because you can actually get more money in a field where you're good at it, and then make even more, be successful in that. So when it comes to jobs, nobody cares where you studied after you graduate. In Amazon, we don't care whether you're from Harvard or MIT or Caltech. We still go through the same process. If you don't know your subject, we're going to say we're going to reject you, right? And how do you learn? You only learn by doing, by real world projects. And hackathon is a great opportunity. I repeat, some of the things be scared. Why would, if you go to Harvard, your life is set, or even Cornell or UCLA or Berkeley? No, because what you know matters than where you went to school. Of course, going to grade school will give more opportunities. I'm not saying Harvard is bad, but what you know is more important than where you went to school or where you went to high school, or it doesn't matter, right? So please make sure that you understand that. Future, what future holds good, right? Nobody knows, right, which field it will be, because I believe it evolves based on problems we need to solve. And I believe fundamentals in one specific area and high level knowledge in many other areas will be required, because problems are multidimensional. Just knowing one specific area, irrespective of your field, I'm just talking about software, but it applies to any field. And the future is not machine learning and artificial intelligence, right? That's not true. We don't know what the future is. And also predict that every field you choose, you will need coding knowledge like math and English. You can't go and apply any job today without math and English. So make sure that you learn some coding. You don't need to be an expert, but you need to have knowledge. Lastly, how do you connect all the dots? So hackathons, participate in them. This is a great way to learn by doing. If you read a few weeks, you'll forget. You may meet new teammates, judges. Your impression with your teammate or judges maybe get you a job or an internship, or your effort will, maybe one day they will work in a company and give you a job, or refer you for internship, or refer you to a job. You never know. So make a good impression by putting effort. And this is the second important thing I want to take away everyone from this thing: learning versus winning. Employers, colleges care about learning, right? We're not going to ask you, did you win a hackathon in June 26, 2021? No, we don't care about that. This is a vehicle for you to learn. Knowledge is only achieved through doing, right? I will value everyone in this who participates in the hackathon if you learn something instead of winning prizes. The people who put the best effort is more valuable than people who didn't reuse some code or didn't put the effort and won, because it will show when you go and get into a job. Sorry for the typo, but workshops, please participate. And I repeat, honesty is still the best policy. I will stop there. I wanted to cover some more, but I believe we are short on time. But thanks for the opportunity, and best of luck for everyone.
All right, so we just have one question. What type of challenges did you face in your own personal journey into tech?
Yeah, I think I covered that. To re-emphasize that is that, I didn't have a traditional computer science degree, so I didn't graduate in computer science. I studied hardware, For me, getting into the software in early stages was very difficult because I didn't have a formal software engineering, you know, like a, I would say, training. So I had a lot of failures. So some of the programs I'll write will not work, and won't follow the standards, and I had struggle. And this was not during high school or college. It was after I got a job. So I didn't have great reviews with my managers, but I persisted. I started out and reached out to people, tried languages that I would suit as opposed to trying to fit me into something. And I would say worked hard. I believe there's only two kinds of people in the world: people who are the outliers, like Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. The rest of us are all hardworking people. That's the philosophy I followed.
All right. So due to time, I think we have to cut it short here. Thank you so much for coming. And yeah,
Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, team.
all right. Have a great day. And Srini, could you share the slides again?
All right, can you see it?
Yes. All right. Now we will go through some of the spicy stuff again. So first, I'd like to thank you all again for participating in our opening ceremony. And let's give a quick drum roll. The winners of the trivia and the $20 Starbucks gift cards are Ifra Baig. I'm not too sure if I butchered that name, but we will private message you in Slack and you should receive it sometime in July or August. And Kanish Kancharla, sorry if I really butchered that name for the second trivia question. Congratulations to everyone who participated. I'm sure that you all got more familiar with the hackathon rules.
Okay, now let's introduce the themes. We have 3 tracks, and in order to compete, you should create something that utilizes new technologies, addresses a problem faced after the pandemic, or revolutionizes education.
Your project can consist of anything that uses tech to solve any one of these problems. So here are some suggestions for each of these tracks for potential project ideas that you may do. For new technologies, some suggestions may include using cutting edge technologies to create a very cool application, such as novel techniques in blockchain, machine learning, or anything that's been recently introduced. As for post COVID-19, use technology to help with the recovery now that vaccines are being rolled out and things are starting to go back to normal before the pandemic. Some suggestions include using machine learning to predict trends in society overall, or create something to help the healthcare workers who still need to roll out the vaccines or do any of the other things that they need to do to get everything back to normal. And finally, for education, just think of something that you always wanted to change about school and create something that uses technology to help that. Some ideas can revolve around online education if that applies to you, just getting the inspiration from online education because of the pandemic, and such as utilizing more resources in teaching. And as we noted, any type of project is eligible as long as it is part of the tracks and utilizes technology in some of the ways. And these are just simply suggestions for what you can do.
Finally, thank you to all of the dedicated judges, mentors, and workshop teachers who are helping to make Hack3 a reality, and you for attending. These are some of the best people in the industry and work at places such as Amazon, or have attended prestigious universities such as Harvard University, worked at Yandex, NetApp, and First. We want to thank all of them for their time and that they will be dedicating to judging your projects. We also like to thank our generous sponsors. Their continued support has made Hack3 a reality.
And we'd also like to thank you to all of our wonderful partners that have helped promote us or have worked with us in some way. Some of these organizations will be helping to teach some workshops and they will help judge some of the projects as well. So thank you so much to them. And because of time, I think we will not answer any questions, but you can check the questions and answers channel in Slack. So I'd like to thank you, the participant, for hanging in for until now. And I'd like to include these two testimonials from last year's participant. One year says one person says he got to work with new ideas and work with people whom he would be glad to call friends, and another that she learned new things, she made new friends, and that's what she guesses as a big deal in a hackathon. The reason why I wanted to include this is that Hack3 is what you make it. Plenty of participants last year met new people, learned new things at workshops, and created amazing projects with the help of mentors. We are hosting an amazing event for you these next 2 days, and we highly encourage you to take advantage of everything that we are providing. But more importantly, I also want to thank you. Thank you for coming in to believe in yourself. And if you're a beginner, thank you for exploring computer science. We hope that we can inspire you. I want to stress that Hack3 is for high school students only because we want to make it a learning event. We aren't just a coding competition, rather we're a coding festival this weekend where you can learn new things, pursue new ideas, and where you can build skills that you can need in the future to change the world. Explore your creativity and try new things. Don't join just to try to win prizes. That's what Hack3 is about. Say congratulations to yourself. You've watched nearly an hour of our opening ceremony, and you have everything that you need to get started. So I'd like to hand it off to the star of the show, you. From all of us here on the organizing team, thank you so much for coming, and happy hacking. Good luck.
Good luck, everyone.
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking.
Happy
See
hacking.
y'all.